Welcome to the Bible Lore Expedition, where you and I embark on a journey of discovery. I'm your host, Javen. In Genesis 21, we witness the fulfillment of God's promise to Abraham and Sarah as they miraculously conceive and give birth to their long awaited son, Isaac. The chapter begins with Sarah conceiving and giving birth to Isaac at the ripe old age of 90, just as God promised. The birth of Isaac brings great joy and laughter to Sarah as she marvels at God's faithfulness in giving her a child in her old age. However, soon after Isaac's birth, tensions arise between Sarah and Hagar, the Egyptian maidservant, whom Sarah had given to Abraham as a concubine in an attempt to fulfill God's promise of offspring. Sarah becomes jealous of Hagar and her son Ishmael, fearing that Ishmael might threaten Isaac's inheritance and status as Abraham's heir. Sarah demands that Abraham cast out Hagar and Ishmael, insisting that Ishmael shall not share in Isaac's inheritance. Although Abraham is distressed by Sarah's request, God reassures him and commands him to listen to Sarah's voice, promising to make a great nation out of Ishmael as well. Abraham reluctantly gives Hagar and Ishmael supplies and sends them off into the wilderness. While they roam in the desert, Hagar becomes distressed, worried about her son's well-being. However, God listens to her pleas and sends an angel to console her, reassuring her that Ishmael will become the founder of a great nation. Meanwhile, Abraham continues to prosper and he makes a covenant with Abimelech, the king of Gerar, reaffirming their mutual respect and trust. Abraham plants a grove of trees and calls upon the name of the Lord, invoking God's everlasting presence and provision. As the chapter concludes, Ishmael grows up in the wilderness and becomes a skillful archer, fulfilling God's promise to Hagar. He marries an Egyptian woman and his descendants settle in the wilderness of Paran, eventually becoming a great nation. I would like to point out two very important aspects in this story. The first thing is addressing jealousy and conflict. The tensions between Sarah and Hagar vividly demonstrate the harmful effects of jealousy and conflict. Sarah's jealousy towards Hagar resulted in discord and division within their home. This narrative underscores the significance of tackling and resolving conflicts in a positive and productive manner, rather than letting them linger and intensify. And this is very important, especially within church communities. The second thing I would like to point out is compassion and empathy. Despite the difficulties she faced, Hagar's experience in the wilderness reminds us of the importance of compassion and empathy towards those who are marginalized or oppressed. God hears Hagar's cries and provides comfort and assurance, demonstrating his concern for the vulnerable and downtrodden. As followers of God or followers of Jesus Christ, we are called to extend compassion and empathy to those in need, following God's example of love and care, rather than hate and deceit. I hope you're enjoying these episodes. If so, please follow my podcast and enable that notification or bell icon to get notified of any new episodes that I put out. I'm your host, Javen.